Alright guys, welcome back to another episode. I just want to start this episode off by saying thank you to everybody that's been keeping up with my stuff, watching it, liking it, sharing it. For those of you that are sharing it, YouTube has been telling me that some people have been sharing my stuff, which that's great. If you're new to this channel, my name's Jack. I live in Vegas. On the weekends, I like to go out to the desert and go exploring abandoned mines, ghost towns, stuff like that. I see a dirt road, I drive down it, see where it goes. So I kind of just want to share that with everybody, and that's why I started this YouTube channel, is to just share these adventures and hopefully inspire you to get out there and do your own adventures. So anyways, back to today's adventure. So today's adventure is kind of a redemption to last weekend. So last weekend I went to a spot, intended on filming, start at one spot, work your way up, see something, end at another spot. Did a lot of filming, ended up getting kind of sidetracked, working my way the opposite direction, found some cool stuff. In the process of filming all that, I realized that instead of filming horizontally, which is phone friendly for when you're viewing, because most people turn their phone sideways, I was filming like this, and that doesn't translate well. If when you turn your phone sideways, the picture doesn't get better, you know. So I was kind of upset, just deleted all the footage, but turning that negative into a positive, when I got sidetracked, I found some cool stuff to film, and then ended up going back the direction that I wanted to go, and then went farther and discovered a new place that I haven't been to yet that I'll make an episode about. So negatives into positives. That's a big thing I'm trying to do lately, is turn negatives into positives. So that being said, let's get on this adventure. I'm heading out right now. As you can see in the background, I'm on the highway because the spot that I'm going is actually in California. Not super far over the border into California, but it's not in the Nevada side, so I'm taking the highway. Typically the stuff I film or show you guys that's in the Nevada side, I can just take Las Vegas Boulevard all the way out towards Jean. In that direction is most of the stuff that I've got planned to show you guys. In the future, I definitely have some other trips planned heading north in Nevada, but that's for a later date. So I'll catch up with you guys when I get to the spot I want to take you. See you then. All right, guys, we're here. Yep, this is what I wanted to show you. A rest stop. I'm just kidding. Despite my monotone voice, I'm not a robot. I am human. I do have to use the restroom sometimes, so pit stop. All right, so now we're actually at the destination. So if you've ever traveled between Southern California and Las Vegas, you've probably driven past this, and you may have been here, may have not, just driven by and be like, oh, I wonder what that is. Well, this is obviously an old, that was a restaurant. I believe this was like a garage and then gas station. This is Halloran Springs Road. So last weekend I came out here with the intention of filming, starting here at Halloran Springs Road, and then you take a road up through the desert. There's an actual mine a little ways up there. Not a very old mine, but a more modern, like, pit mine. A smaller one, not a huge operation. And then keep going up past that, and you eventually end up at Halloran Summit. And there's another, like, abandoned truck garage there that looks much like this, all torn down, burnt up, graffitied up. But yeah, so I've driven past this a million times in my travels between Southern California and Vegas. And about 2 years ago, I believe it was, I had a Tahoe for a very brief amount of time. And when I got it, I decided to come out here and take some pictures of it. And in doing so, I did the exact journey that I just mentioned, from here to that mine and then to Halloran Summit. I had no idea that mine was there. It was something I found along the way. And while I was at that mine, I was there for probably half an hour exploring the buildings and stuff, and hopped back in the Tahoe, drove a little bit up past the pit area, got out to look around, and noticed a person out there like picking up rocks. This person had their back to me, didn't pay attention to me or even notice me, but there was no vehicles out there. I thought it was a little weird, person in the middle of nowhere picking up rocks. So last week when I came out here to film that, I had actually mentioned that in the video as I was making it. Fast forward to later on in the day when I ended up at Halloran Summit. I was walking around that area and just some random person popped up out of one of the old buildings and walked around and then walked into a different part of the building. And there was no cars or anything. So I'm going to guess that at least the person I saw last weekend is like a squatter that's living in that building. Sorry, I'm gonna kind of just walk and talk here a little bit. But yeah, I thought that was a little weird. But like I was saying earlier, last weekend, when I came out here, I got kind of sidetracked. So I didn't go my original route. What I ended up doing was going over the freeway and basically drove back into the hills quite a ways and came across some natural springs, hence why it's called Halloran Springs Road. I knew it was called that because of the springs. I didn't know there was the springs that I discovered. I know just the other side of the 15 there is a spring that is there that is either pinched off or dried up. There's no water flowing, but it's obvious where it's at. And I do believe when this place was active, I want to say, based on the way the shit looks, it was like the 70s, maybe the 80s, but it looks like on the other side of the 15 there used to be like a little RV park type of thing. Maybe there was something like that here as well. I do know there was a trailer and a building there that's now destroyed. It kind of sucks to see stuff like that, stuff getting destroyed, but eventually it gets to the point where so much random hooligan stuff happens that these places have to get torn down to prevent people from being injured or weird activity going on, you know, some like Breaking Bad type stuff, people out in the middle of the desert making meth, which if you know this area that I'm at, that's probably what's going on out here in most of the area. But anyways, just wanted to show you guys this. So now I'm gonna hop in the truck, and for this episode I'm gonna take you to show you guys the springs. I'll probably come back here in a week or two, maybe a few weeks, and do the original trip that I had planned from here to the mine and then to Halloran Summit. But for today's episode, I just thought I'd stop here and run you guys through what happened last weekend. And then, so yeah, we're gonna head over and drive through those hills, a bunch of Joshua trees, and find some springs. See you guys over there. All right, so we crossed over the freeway, and we are now on the west side of the 15. And like I was mentioning just a little while ago, I think back when that gas station was, you know, up and running back in the day, this was kind of like a little campground area over here. Just the way the land is kind of gives me that vibe. But if I'm not mistaken, that's a spring right there. I think they may have a valve on it. Like shut off, but we're gonna head farther back. The road is paved, but as you can see, it is very old and run down. I do know that there are like one or two modern mines down this road, like pit mines back in the hills that haven't been in operation in who knows how long. They're not very big ones, but giant pothole. But yeah, I think this used to be kind of like a campground type of thing back in the day. don't know what else is down this road. Up on the mountain there's what looks like a, you know, from a distance I would just say radio tower, but if you look at it on Google Earth, it's a pretty large building up there. I think it's a military building. I think it's a military repeater tower, like a communications place. They relay stuff from base to base from California across the country or out to Nellis Air Force Base or something. Like I said, it looks like a pretty large building on Google Earth to be on top of a mountain. This road does get to a fork. It goes up that direction. I have not gone that way. Part of me does not want to go that way, because if it is military, I don't want some random guys in, you know, camo with guns popping out of the bushes asking me what I'm doing out here. So, anyways, I'm gonna carry on towards the springs. We'll pick right back up when we get to the first one. It's quite a ways back there. So, see you when we get there. Alright guys, so we're getting to the first spring now. Well, actually that's technically a lie. Way back there where the trail forked off, I know there's another spring back there that's dried up. At least it was dry last time I was out here a couple years ago. But this one I know has water in it. I was just here last weekend, so. Go ahead and I'll stop right here, hop out real fast and just give you guys a quick look. It's not anything spectacular. I must say though, the drive today was much more fun, because last weekend, since I had no idea where I was going much slower. Today I was able to go much faster, about 35-40 miles an hour down that trail, which super fun. So you see it's pretty green. Obviously water collects out here when it rains up here. And then down here, there's an actual spring. They put fencing around it to basically keep the cattle from stomping around in it and getting stuck. And, you know, sometimes they stomp the spring closed. You wouldn't think that there's cows out here, but believe it or not, out here in the middle of nowhere there are cattle ranchers. I haven't ran into any in this area. However, probably 50 miles that way by another mine that I will take you guys to in the future. I've definitely ran into the cattle ranchers out there. There's like a trailer out there in the middle of nowhere that they live in. Seen a couple cows and stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna hop back in the truck, drive a little bit farther down the trail to the next spring. Next spring is much larger. So onward we go. All right, so we went up and over the bridge about a mile down, farther down the trail. And here we are at the next spring. Like I said, this one is quite a bit bigger than the other one. And as you can see, it had a fence around it at one point. I would imagine the severe flooding that happens out here is probably what tore that fence down. Grab a rock here. So yeah, this spring is much larger. Not sure how deep it is. If I had to guess, I would venture to say it's probably like 15 feet, maybe more. Not entirely sure. But kind of a cool little oasis out here. I wouldn't drink that or swim in it, but cows can drink it all they want. Oh, look at a little butterfly. Alright, so I'm gonna walk down here a little ways. There is a old water trough, steel water trough. It's all crushed up. Again, probably from the flooding. Pretty cool. Wonder what this was. That wood definitely wore out, like they were prying on it or something. Oh, did you guys see the lizard? Oh, don't worry, little guy. Not here to mess with you. It's a cool little area out here. I think it'd be kind of cool to come out here and camp overnight. Set up my trail cam in a tree somewhere and see what kind of wildlife comes through here at night. Coyotes, bobcats, mountain lions. Pretty sure there's wild burros out here in this area too. But yeah, I don't know what else we're gonna get into today, because this is pretty much all I had planned for today, was show you these springs. So last weekend when I came out here, I carried on farther down this trail and got to a point where I could visually see where it was heading, and it didn't look like there was much else. Eventually it was going to take me back to a road, SEMA road, that would just takes you back to the I-15, which I think that's how I'm going to get out of here. Last weekend I turned around and went back the direction I came. But I think today I'll just follow it all the way through. So, pretty short video. Still pretty cool. If you've watched the entire video all the way through, thank you. Appreciate it. If you liked it, please hit the like button. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. If you feel like sharing it, go ahead and share it. Any kind of help getting views and stuff, I'd really appreciate it. I'd like to be able to monetize this channel eventually, to where I could, ooh man, just almost busted my butt. Like I was saying, I'd like to be able to monetize the channel eventually. Not to get rich, but just to be able to earn enough money to put some gas in the tank so I can keep making more videos for you guys. But yeah, thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one. Have a good week, everybody. And get out there and get on your own adventures. Okay, so really quick, I lied. This is going to be the last clip for this YouTube episode. After everything I just filmed, as what always happens, I discovered something else. I will make a future episode about it. However, I did document a bunch of it on my Instagram in my stories. So I'm actually going to collectively put those stories together in my highlights, make a highlight reel of it, or highlight story of it. It's going to be February, whatever today is, 24th, I think. I'm going to call it the side quest, I guess, because that's basically what it was. So if you want to pop on my Instagram and watch that, see what I got into after everything I showed you already today. But I will come back to that later and make an episode specifically on that for for those of you that won't go on my Instagram to see it. That being said, though, if you do go on my Instagram, I'd appreciate it if you followed me on there as well. If you do follow me on there, thank you. If you don't and you decide to follow me, do me a favor, shoot me a DM. Just be like, hey, I found you on YouTube or whatever. Just because I get a lot of like spam fake profiles that follow me. Some of them, they're kind of iffy, look real, like they could be real people, but I don't know. So yeah, just shoot me a message if you do decide to follow me and be like, hey, you know, decided to follow you on Instagram because I saw you on YouTube, or I follow you on YouTube, whatever. But either way, if you follow me on any of my social media, thank you. If you subscribe to me on here, thank you. If you like my stuff, share my stuff, again, thank you. Really appreciate it. Like I said, my goal for this channel is to share my adventures, inspire you guys to get out there on adventures. I'm getting really close to like the first tier of being able to monetize on YouTube. I think the one thing that's going to be hard to do to get to that point is to have enough subscribers. You need to have 500 subscribers to hit that first tier. I'm not anywhere near 500. I'm at like 170-ish something currently. So if you could share my stuff with your friends or, you know, people that you think might be interested, so I can get my followers up. Because once I'm able to monetize and, you know, actually earn a little bit of money from this YouTube thing, all that money I'm going to put directly into my channel. Whether it be gas in the gas tank to go on adventures, to buy better equipment, you know, so I can get you some other angles. I would love to get a drone in the future, get some drone shots. Specifically for what I found today, a drone would have been so awesome to have today. But until we get to that point, I need you guys to, sorry, it's a little bumpy. I'm going over some really rough stuff right now. But until we get to that point, I'm going to need you guys to like and share as much as possible. Got to get that follow count up. Even if it's just, you know, you guys following me on Instagram, that helps a lot too. Anything to help spread the word. Appreciate everything you guys do for me with the likes and subscribes and all that good stuff. Also, I would love to follow some of you guys that follow me. YouTube is weird. I don't know if it's different on the computer as it is for the phone. I very rarely get notifications of new subscribers. And then when I do, I have no way to actually like view the profile from the notification thing, like on the YouTube like app thing that shows like all the analytics and everything. I have to actually go onto YouTube itself and then try to like click on you and then see your stuff. So if you want me to follow you back, that's great. I will, especially if you're, you know, creating content that goes along with the kind of stuff that I'm into, which is what you see here. But yeah, shoot me some comments if you want me to follow you. Like, hey, you know, a follow back would be appreciated. I'll follow you back because it'd be cool to, you know, be more in touch with the like-minded type of people, because that's what this is all about, is, you know, sharing with like-minded people. But yeah, so I'm heading back to town, done for the day. Like I said, I will throw up the side quest stuff, or it's actually already up on Instagram, but I will create a separate highlight for it all together so you guys can see everything collectively, because, you know, stories disappear after 24 hours. But yeah, thank you again if you made it to the end of this video. Sorry for rambling, that's kind of what I do. But yeah, see you in the next one.